Hey guys, this is Miss Lind, and today we're going to be talking about why good nutrition is important during the teen years. You're going to be using this information you received today to complete your multidisciplinary unit throughout all of your classes. Let's get started. You're going to want to take Cornell notes as we're going through this PowerPoint, and we're going to start with some important vocabulary. Nutrients. Nutrients are molecules in food that all organisms need to make energy, grow, develop, and reproduce. Nutrition is the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. And calorie. You heard that term calorie before? A lot of people don't know what it means. Well, calorie is a unit of measure that's used to describe the energy people get from the food and the drinks that they consume, and the energy they use in physical activity. 3,500 calories equals about 1 pound of fat. You will need to burn about 3,500 calories in order to lose 1 pound of fat. That's a lot of calories. Here is a quick video on a debate about nutrition. In your free time, please go ahead and peruse through it, look through it. There's some important information you will need when you are trying to complete your fast food project. Moving on, the importance of good nutrition. Well, good nutrition enhances your quality of life, and it helps prevent disease. It also provides you with the calories and nutrients your body needs for maximum energy and wellness. There's some good food right there. And what influences your food choices? Well, taste plays an important part in your choice of food, And to gain insight into your eating habits, it's important to understand the differences between your physical need for food and your psychological desire for food. We call these things hunger and appetite. Let's talk a little bit about each. Hunger is an unlearned, inborn response. You come out of your mother's womb hungry, ready to eat. The nerves signal your brain that your body needs food, and there is a nervous system response. Many factors influence your food choices and eating habits, including your emotions and a number of factors in your environment. We're going to go through those right now. Are you an emotional eater? Because food is sometimes used to meet emotional needs. Using food to relieve tension or boredom or to reward yourself can result in overeating and unhealthful weight gain. These are the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. When you're physically hungry, it comes on gradually and can be postponed. It's usually satisfied with any type of food, and once you're full, you stop eating. Physical hunger causes satisfaction. It doesn't cause guilt after you've appeased the hunger. Emotional hunger, on the other hand, comes on suddenly and it feels urgent. You typically have cravings that go along with that, and you eat more than you normally would. After eating, you feel uncomfortably full. And emotionally, hunger typically leaves you feeling guilty and upset with yourself. So let's take a little quiz. Are you an emotional eater? Go ahead and take this online quiz and assess your eating style. Okay, how'd you do? Well, if you're an emotional eater, it's not too late to try to change those bad habits. Let's think about things in our environment that influence our eating. Do you have family, friends, or peers that have shaped your likes and dislikes for food? What about your culture or ethnic background? How does your culture and ethnic background reflect your food choices? about convenience and cost? Especially during the teen years, that can be a top priority. Unfortunately, a lot of convenience food is full of sodium and preservatives. And then advertising. How does advertising influence your decisions? When we get into our fast food project, you're going to be discussing the food you're choosing and if it looks like the advertising you've seen. Let's talk about nutrition throughout the lifespan. Healthy eating provides you with the nutrients you need for growth and development. It gives you energy for sports and other activities, and it enables you to stay mentally alert and helps you feel good and look your best. And a healthful and balanced eating plan also helps prevent unhealthful weight gain, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Let's go over the 6 important nutrients your body needs. Those 6 nutrients are carbohydrates, sometimes called carbs, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. We're going to go through and talk briefly about each one. Carbohydrates are the starches and sugars found in foods. There are 4 calories per every 1 gram of carbohydrate. Most nutrition experts recommend getting 45 to 65% of your daily calories from carbohydrates. You've been learning about different diets throughout some of your other classes. I know in science you've been talking about the carnivore and the keto diet. In those diets, you're limiting carbohydrates. There are 3 different types of carbohydrates. They're the simple carbs, complex carbs, and fiber. Simple carbs are also known as empty calories. They're the sugars. Sometimes you hear sugars being fructose, lactose, sucrose. They're primarily found in fruit and milk. Most familiar, as we said, with sucrose, which is found naturally in plants, and it's refined to make table sugar. Sucrose is also added to manufactured goods. There's a link here that has a segment from a news broadcast that discusses the dangers of sugar, that it compares sugar to being as dangerous as alcohol. Go ahead and take a look at it and let me know what you think. Next, we're going to be discussing this visual here. It's called the sugar roller coaster. Eating sugar can take you up and down again quickly, heightening your cravings and exacerbating other issues like weight gain, fatigue, irritability, and hormonal imbalance. And over the long term, sugar wreaks havoc on your immune system and overall health. When we ingest sugar, it increases our serotonin levels and our endorphins. And at the same time, it increases our energy and our mood. And then our insulin spikes and it decreases the blood sugar, which causes fatigue, mental fogness, and then more sugar cravings. So this roller coaster goes up and down, and eventually over the long term, you're having weight gain, hormonal imbalance, which can affect the moods and lots of different things in your body. And you have an increased risk of insulin resistance and other inflammatory diseases. In order to avoid those things, we need to try to ingest more of a complex carbohydrate, which are long chains of sugars linked together, which are basically long-term energy compared to sugars. These are primarily found in the whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and tubers, which are root vegetables. Now, complex carbs and simple carbs eventually all turn into the same thing, but your body must break down complex carbs into simple carbs before you can use them for energy. Complex carbs are found in foods like breads, pastas, and starchy vegetables, and they provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Now, the role of carbohydrates is clear. Your body converts all simple and complex carbohydrates down into glucose. Glucose is a simple sugar that's the main source of energy for your body. The glucose that is not used is stored in the liver and muscles as a starch-like substance called glycogen. When your body needs more energy, the glycogen is then converted back to glucose. Excess carbs taken in and not used are then converted to body fat. And that's why the keto diet is so effective at times, because it's taking out these carbohydrates. Have you ever heard of diabetes? Do you have any family members with diabetes? Well, let's talk about it. The pancreas makes the right amount of insulin to move glucose out of the blood to the cells. Insulin helps glucose enter the body's cells where it can be used for energy or stored for future use. There are two different types of diabetes. Type 1 is when the body's immune system begins destroying the cells of the pancreas that produce insulin. This is something that a person is born with. Type 2 is when over time the body loses the ability to create enough insulin in response to meals due to that sugar roller coaster we discussed and lack of exercise and healthy lifestyle. Let's move on to fiber. What is it and what does it do? Fiber is a tough, complex carbohydrate the body cannot digest. The body uses it to move waste through the digestive system. Eating foods high in fiber can help you feel full and can reduce the risk of cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and lower cholesterol. Good sources of fiber include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Let's move on to protein. Protein are the nutrients the body uses to build and maintain its cells and tissues. There are 4 calories per gram of protein. 10 to 15% of your daily calories should come from protein. Muscles, bones, skin, and internal organs are all constructed of protein. Protein helps your body grow during childhood and adolescence. The protein hemoglobin in your red blood cells carries oxygen. Protein does not supply energy as quickly as carbohydrates do, but can be used as an energy source. You can go ahead and access page 260 of your textbook to see how much protein you need compared to what you're doing on a daily basis. Protein is made of amino acids, and your body can manufacture all but 9 of the 20 different amino acids that make up proteins. These 9 amino acids are known as the essential amino acids. These 9 you have to get from foods. So where do we get them from? Well, the first type of protein is called complete protein, and a complete protein contains all adequate amounts of 9 essential amino acids. And it's found in animal products, things like fish, meat, poultry, eggs, dairy products. These are where you get your complete protein. An incomplete protein is lacking one or more of the essential amino acids. And those sources are things like plant products, beans, peas, nuts, and whole grains. For example, if you were to combine peanut butter and bread, that'd give you a complete protein. You don't have to combine the incomplete proteins in one meal, you just need them over the course of the day. Those of you who have been researching the vegetarian or vegan lifestyles, you've been probably hearing about incomplete proteins. Vegetarians, they do not eat meat. There is a difference between vegetarians and vegans. What is it? Well, a vegetarian doesn't eat meat, but they will still eat, animal products such as milk and cheese and eggs, for example. Vegetarians and vegans might have a challenge getting protein. So typically a vegan would get their protein through things like beans, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds. They have to combine their foods carefully and really be educated about it.